There is a woman I know who spent 3 years praying for her son to return to his faith. 3 years of absolute silence. No change, no signs of movement. She told me later she started to wonder if her prayers were simply hitting the ceiling, if God had heard her and decided no. That specific kind of silence is universally exhausting. It is the weight of living in the gap between a promise being spoken and that promise being fulfilled. It is the experience of taking step after step and still facing a wall that refuses to move. But the original language of the Bible suggests that this waiting period, this heavy not yet, follows a specific invisible structure. To see it, we have to look at the physical text of the Hebrew Bible. The ancient writers were meticulous craftsmen, and the language they used provides a deliberate map of how they understood the nature of a promise. The Hebrew word for the number 7 is sheva. It shares the exact same root letters as the verb sheva, which means to swear an oath. These are not separate concepts in the Hebrew mind. To swear a promise was, in a sense, to seven yourself. It meant binding yourself to a commitment so completely that the result was guaranteed. Completeness and covenant were carried by the same 3 letters. This means that when we feel stuck in that quiet, painful waiting period, we are standing at step 6, waiting for the Creator to seven himself and bring the promise to its designed conclusion. We see this play out at the city of Jericho. Israel is standing on the edge of a promised land, blocked by an impenetrable wall. God gives Joshua a battle plan that defies military logic. March around the city in total silence once a day for 6 days. No weapons drawn, no shouting, just the rhythm of footsteps. Consider the tension of that 6th day. They have walked the exact same circle 6 times, and the walls are just as tall and intimidating as they were on day 1. From a human perspective, nothing has changed. But on the 7th day, the pattern reaches its fullness. The trumpets blast, the people shout, and the walls collapse. Walking in a circle did not physically bring down those stones. The 6-day march was a process of alignment, the people moving in sync with the completion God had already decreed. This pattern scales down to the life of a single individual. A military commander named Naaman is suffering from leprosy and is told to wash in the muddy Jordan River 7 times. Imagine the frustration of the first 6 dips. 1, 2, 3. You reach the 6th dip, pull yourself out of the water, and examine your skin. There is no partial improvement. The 6th dip looks exactly like the first, yet on the 7th dip, the restoration is immediate and total. If Naaman had walked away at step 6, he would have remained sick. The difference between not yet and done was a single step of obedience. This rhythm reaches its absolute peak in ancient Jerusalem. On the cross, Jesus speaks 6 active phrases. He asks for forgiveness for his executioners. He comforts the thief beside him. He provides for his mother. These are the grueling, agonizing works of salvation. Then comes the 6th word. In Greek, it is tetelestai. It means it is finished. It is a definitive declaration that the mission has reached its designed conclusion. The active suffering stops. His 7th and final word is a peaceful act of surrender. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. According to the accounts, his body then rested in the tomb on the 7th day of the week, the Sabbath, the day God set apart for completion at the start of the world. The structure of human redemption mirrors the structure of creation. The gap between humanity and God was bridged by this final 7. This means the number 7 is not a mystical code or a formula for predicting the future. It is a covenantal signature, a guarantee that God's promises are bound by an oath he will not break. Think back to that woman who prayed for 3 years in total silence. After those years of quiet, 3 unrelated events converged in a single week to restore her son's faith. She realized that even during the silence of her step 6, God was working toward the finish. There is one final echo. The Hebrew word for week, shavua, comes from the same root for 7 and oath. Every 7 days, the language of time reminds us that God finishes what he starts. The weekly rhythm is built on his faithfulness. Whatever silent, unfinished chapter you are standing in right now, do not walk away. The God of completion is faithful.